morning and welcome to another episode of What's Up with Mr. Beck. Today is June 4th, 2020. It's a Thursday. Guys, big day today. Starting your rough draft. Let's be rock stars. Let's be that $1 million student that Mr. Kemp's going to go on about. I want to see that. I believe in you. I know you can do it. Guys, we're towards the end here. Finish strong. You don't slow down at the finish line. Okay? So rock out with this essay. Don't be lazy. Put a lot of effort into it. Mr. Kemp's going to go on about it for like 20 minutes, so I'm not going to talk much more about it right now. Just give it your best. Do your best. Okay? I believe in you. Okay, so good news. We got a ton of good news, and I'm going to try to go as quick as I can. I'm going to start talking as fast as I can. Drink this coffee.
Tell me something good. Tell me something good.
Okay, let's do this. Okay, so we'll start off with Emma. Her and her mom played Rocco. I haven't played Rocco since last summer at my camp. My mom plays it a lot. She almost always wins. But today, I won! Woo! Go, Emma, I'm proud of you. Okay, Coleman says he found polywogs, and not just a few, a whole mess of them. And he also went swimming at his grandma's house. Whoop, whoop! As we saw in the Tell Me Something Good video, which was awesome. Thank you, Shayna and Haley Cornelius. Speaking of Haley Cornelius, yesterday was your birthday. So let's sing a little song for you, girl. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Haley. Happy birthday to you and many more. Ah! Are you one? No. Not on YouTube. We don't do that. Okay, so Amelia's next on good news. My good news is that it was so nice out that she got to play outside and jump on the trampoline, and she rode her bike with her brothers and sister. Awesome. Always enjoy that sunlight as much as you can. I really think that's a good idea. Helps get you focused too. Like if I was writing this essay today, I would write for like half an hour. Take a break. Go ride my bike around the block. Come back. Work on it for another half an hour. It helps get ideas in your brain too. Maybe go for a walk if you don't have a bike. Okay, next we've got Brock. Some good news is that for today is that I planted 400 trees on estate land for my dad's company. It took the whole day, but it was nice to do something good. Some more good news is that my mom and I rescued a raccoon from inside a building. We got called asking for help, so we went down with our Have a Heart trap and got him. We are releasing him tonight in the backwoods, which is awesome. So it sounds like you were full of nature today. Not only did you help plants, but you helped wildlife. Great job, Brock. That's awesome. Next, I've got Molly. My good news is that I found a little fawn in my yard. It was super cute. So I also got to go to my grandma's house for Kids Day. We go tubing on Cuba Lake with all my cousins when we are there. We finished our homemade birdhouses too. Awesome. Next, Avaya. My good news is that my cousins and I played, and they came over. Or I went to their house and we had a party because it was my cousin's birthday. She had fun playing with my little sister. As I said already, Haley Cornelius, it was her birthday yesterday. Happy birthday. Sorry I didn't sing it to you yesterday, Haley. It breaks my heart. Lucas Haskins went fishing for the first time this year and caught 3 small fish. Hopefully he can catch some bigger ones, he says. That's always the goal, man. Just try to get a little bit better tomorrow. So the next time you go fishing, try to be a little bit better. If you could just be a little bit better, you're going to make progress if you keep getting better every day. Okay? There. Shawnee Titus, she's almost finished with her media project. Whoop, whoop. What do you got going on, guys? Yeah, you. Yeah, you in the back. Is your media project done? Have you started it? Have you told me what you were doing? Because if you haven't, you probably want to. Thank you. Okay. Henry, today I got to spend time with my grandma and grandpa while I was at their house. I read 44 pages of my book. It was so good. Henry, what book is it? Tell me, please. I want to know. Maria started building a log cabin. And my favorite part of this good news was when she said it to me, she was also like, "Don't worry, Mr. Beck, I'm going to send a picture. I'm waiting with anticipation, Maria. Can't wait." So that, my friends, is good news. So coming up next, you're going to have Mr. Kemp, who fully explains exactly what you should have in your rough draft, what it should look like, an example. So please make sure you watch and follow his directions thoroughly. Guys, nothing is more upsetting and annoying than when you don't watch the video and then go, "I don't know what I'm supposed to do." I'm going to just tell you, like I tell everybody, did you watch Thursday's episode of What's Up with Mr. Beck? And you're going to say, no. So let's skip that part. Just watch. Simple. Okay? So, Mr. Kemp, hit it.
So, for our project, what is life like on whatever your planet is? So, we're going to take a look at this and we're going to talk about our rough draft and what I expect from you and what you need to have in your rough draft if you would like to get $1 million grade on your paper. Again, that goes back to us talking about $5 students as compared to $1 million students. So right now I'm going to go over your rough draft and what it's going to need to look like if you want to be $1 million student. So for our planet writing directions and checklist, and all of you should have already seen this, and I believe Mr. Beck went over this already. So this is the basis of your creative writing story. What is life like on your planet? Earth is in trouble. We need to colonize another planet in order to preserve the human race. And guess what? You were chosen to go to whichever planet you were assigned to, and my planet is Pluto, and help begin the process of colonization. And colonization means we are reestablishing the human race on another planet. So it says it has been approximately 1 month since you arrived on whatever planet. But then I changed it because you can write a story about a typical day, week, or month. Okay, and the reason that I'm letting you choose whether you write about a day, week, or month is because everybody has a different planet, and sometimes that means you will have different lengths of days. For instance, on Pluto, my planet, a day lasts 154 hours about. So I don't think that it would be a very good idea for me to be telling you what a week or a month has been like, considering there's 154 hours just in a day on Pluto. So my story is just going to be about a typical day. But if you have a planet where your days are very short, maybe you would want to write about what a typical week or a month has been like. Okay? So then right here it says, if your story had a genre, it would most closely resemble historical fiction. That means some stuff is true and some stuff you need to make up so that the story is fun and enjoyable to read. So you are encouraged to be creative and imaginative in order to make your story fun and interesting. However, you will also need to include some bits of information such as scientific and mathematical facts about the planet that you are on. So our checklist, you need to have your graphic organizer turned in. Your rough draft will be due on Friday, and then your final draft will be due next Friday. So everybody should have turned in their graphic organizers on Wednesday, and then everybody should be turning in their rough drafts on Friday. And then you have a whole week after that, and I'm going to correct your rough drafts and get them back to you by Monday. And then you will have from Monday to Friday to make sure that your final draft by June 12th is the absolute best that it can be. Remember, if you want to be $1 million person in life, you need to start by being $1 million student, not a $5 student. So this is our checklist of what your paper is going to be based on. So everybody should already know that. I just went over that just to be sure. So then we will go to what our rough draft is going to look like. Now, you will do this just like you do any other assignment. You will have a Word document that you will be able to go to and edit just like you would any other ELA assignment that we've done. And this is what it will look like. It is going to have this on top. Now, boys and girls, let's notice these 3 bullet points right here. These 3 bullet points are the 3 ways that I want you to begin your story. You choose one of the 3. So everybody's story should be starting with one of these 3 sentences, and then you go from there. That's why
Let's repeat that one more time for the kids in the back. You have 3 choices on how to start your story. You have to do it with I can't believe I've been on blank for a whole month already. Or ugh, it's been 1 full month since arriving on blank and I still can't believe I'm here. Or another one, after 1 month of being on blank, I have a feeling that life as I once knew it might never be the same again.
I have them listed here, and they will be listed here right on your rough draft paper so that no one will have an excuse for not knowing that they were supposed to select one of those sentences to begin their story.
So, to be clear, you must start your story with one of these 3 options. Yes, you have to.
So, what is life like on whatever planet? And guys, when you write your planet's name in there, all you do is go in here and click this and erase the line. You can erase that line and then type your planet's name in. Okay? So just click at the end of the line and hit delete until the line is gone, and then type in your planet's name. Alright? You won't do anything to these 3 sentences here. They are just there for reference so you know you have to use one of them. So now I'm scrolling down, and don't forget to put your name on the top either. Otherwise, you're not prepared to go into 6th grade if you're still forgetting to put your name on your paper. So then we'll scroll down. And here is my rough draft. So, one thing that is going to be different on your rough draft, boys and girls, is if you notice mine looks very small, and if you go over here, you can see that my font size is 11. I want you to change your font size to 14.
What size? 14. What size? 14. What size? 14.
That's so that I will be able to read it a little better and it won't look so small. So, normally I would say double space, but I'm not sure that everybody would be able to double space. So, we're not going to require you to double space your rough draft. I would rather just have you change your font size to 14. Okay? So, you change your font size to 14 and start your rough draft. If you've noticed, this is the beginning of my paper. I selected one of these 3 sentences to start my paper. I selected the second sentence to start my paper. So I'm going to read you my rough draft. And if you notice, I have words that are in red and I have things that are in green. That's because my adjectives that I have to use, I changed to red. So I want everybody, after they're done typing their story out, I want you to go back and you would highlight your adjectives, and then you would just change them to red under font color. Okay? And then you would change your figurative languages, all your examples of figurative language, you would change to green. And we should all know how to do this because we've done this on other assignments before. So those are the 2 things that you notice are different colors within my rough draft. Alright? So I'm going to read you my rough draft. And then we'll take a quick look at the rubric, and hopefully everybody will have a firm understanding of what your paper needs to look like if you hope to get the very best grade that you can get, if you hope to be $1 million student. Because I have a sneaky suspicion that not everybody's going to put the most effort into this. And so some of you are already preparing to be $5 students just from some of the graphic organizers that I've looked at that I didn't see very much effort in. Not all of you, but some of you. So, my paper on what is life like on Pluto. I said, ugh, it's been 1 full month since arriving on Pluto, and I still can't believe that I'm here. I guess I really shouldn't be complaining, though. It is a beautiful planet. It's just frigid. When I got here, the first thing that struck me was that Pluto's skies were as blue as an ocean wave. My spacecraft danced across the icy surface as we landed near the base of a humongous mountain. 30 days in, and it still feels like day 1. Getting here wasn't easy. Pluto is a needle in the haystack in our universe, and finding it amongst all the other planetary bodies was certainly a challenge for me and for the scientists at NASA that are helping me on my mission. I have made the treacherous journey to Pluto because there was a radioactive war on Earth and the planet is slowly dying. Excuse me. I never imagined that at just 11 years old, I would be the first human to step foot on Pluto. The days here are extremely long, about 154 Earth hours to be exact. So, with so much time in just one day, I've been able to get lots of work done. I spend most of the day exploring and looking for the best places to try and restart humanity. Building communities and discovering ways to grow and maintain a steady food supply is my main objective while I am here on this microscopic ice ball. The intelligent scientists at NASA are communicating with me through satellite radio transmissions and are helping me navigate this place. Thank goodness for that, or else I'm sure I would be doomed. Since the days are so long, I tend to lose track of time. Again, I guess I shouldn't be complaining, though. This just means that I'm going to age so much slower here than I would if I was still on Earth, so that's cool. Being 11 years old for 56,210 hours sounds pretty awesome to me. So, after I get done with my daily missions, I usually like to sleep for as long as I can. It can be tiring when you are all alone, doing work that grinds your knuckles to the bone. My spacesuit isn't the most comfortable thing to sleep in, but I've gotten used to it at this point. Since one day here on Pluto is almost the same as one full week on Earth, I get more done than you could possibly imagine, even after doing lots of sleeping too. I can't wait for my mission to be complete though. I really need some human companionship soon, or else I might go crazy. Now, again, you notice that I had adjectives in red, and my figurative language was in blue. Pluto's skies were as blue as an ocean wave. That's a simile. I compared Pluto's skies to an ocean wave using like or as, and I used as. My spacecraft danced across the icy surface. So that is personification, because I'm giving my spacecraft human characteristics by saying it danced. So you can go through the other ones, and my idiom was doing work that grinds your knuckles to the bone. You don't have to use one of each. You could use 2 similes, 2 metaphors, 1 personification. What I absolutely do not want you to do is I do not want you using all of one example of figurative language. I would love it if you could use 5 examples, 1 of each, 1 simile, 1 metaphor, 1 hyperbole, 1 personification, and 1 idiom. I would love it if you would do that. So if you can do that, please do that. That just shows me how much you are a $1 million student. But if you are struggling to do that, you can have 2 similes, 2 metaphors, and a personification. Or you can have 2 personifications, 2 hyperboles, and 1 idiom. So you can mix it up if you have to. But I would prefer that you use 1 of each of the 5 that we've done so far. Then if you also notice, I have used some science and math facts. Science, Pluto's skies were as blue as an ocean. Although that was part of my figurative language example, that's also scientific because Pluto's skies are very blue. I also talked about Pluto being a needle in the haystack in our universe. And that's, although again, that is something that I used for my figurative language, that is scientifically true. So I used at least 3 scientific pieces of information, and I also used at least 2 pieces of math. And my math was when I talked about being 11 years old for 56,000 hours, I had to do some math to figure that out. That wasn't information that I just knew or was given to me. I had to figure that math out, okay? And then me just telling you that that Pluto has 154 hours in one day, that's another part of our math. So, in our rubric, let's switch to our rubric real quick. And if we go to the bottom, you have to have an opening sentence. You need to have at least 1 page or more. And with your font changed to 14, it should be very easy for everybody to get at least 1 page. You have to have used at least 6 adjectives. You need to use at least 5 examples of figurative language. You need to use 3 pieces of scientific factual information and 2 mathematic pieces of information. Now guys, this is going to be challenging. But it's supposed to be challenging. This is your final project for 5th grade. So some of you are going to put in the necessary time to get a very good grade. But I have a sneaky suspicion that there are going to be some of us who don't put in very much effort. And if you get a very low grade on this, that could have a very bad effect on you moving forward into 6th grade. Again, I always tell you guys, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So you should be working very hard, no matter how long it takes, to be able to get the things done that are going to need to be done in order for you to be a $1 million student on this paper. So all of you have the rubric that you can look at, and you see exactly how you can earn points by going above and beyond, or if you don't give me very much effort, you may only get 1 point for each of these. And like I said, Mr. Beck will go over these rubrics with you for each subject so that you understand and know why you're getting the grade that you're getting.
And we already did that, if you remember, last week.
Going to be based on the type of effort and work that you put in. So this is really all up to you. So let me go back to my rough draft real quick. Now, guys, I want to make something very clear to you. I spent between 1 and 2 hours doing this, just writing my rough draft. I spent another half an hour, 45 minutes on my graphic organizer. So even me as an adult, in order for me to have this rough draft done, I had to put in a good 2 hours of work to get a really good paper done. If you are not putting in an hour or two of work, and this is the only thing that you have to work on between Thursday morning and Friday evening, you are being lazy. You need to put in some time and some effort into this paper, or else you're not going to have a very good grade for your final draft. And your final draft is a very big part of your final grade in 5th grade right now. So, if you value finishing the year on a strong note and heading into 6th grade on a very good note, then you need to put in some real time and some real thought into this. I even went back and did some editing of my rough draft. So my rough draft doesn't have a lot of errors in it because I spent so much time going back over it. So I advise many of you to think about that. If it took Mr. Kemp an hour or two to come up with a very good rough draft, it's going to take you at least that same amount of time if you would like to be a $1 million student. If you only put a half an hour of time into this, you're only going to get maybe a $100 grade. That's not very close to a $1 million grade. So you will get out of this what you put into it. If you don't put very much effort into it, don't expect a very good grade. So, again, this is what your rough draft will look like in your assignments. It'll have all of this on the top of it. All of it. You start writing down here just like I did. And you can tab in to start paragraphs. You hit tab to do that. Alright? And you should be making paragraphs. I started a new paragraph every time I started talking about something new or something different. So it doesn't matter how many paragraphs you have, but you're going to need to have more than one page. My one page is right there. So again, guys, think about that. If I spent an hour or two and I only have 5 or 6 lines past one page, that means you're going to have to spend the same amount of time as I am just to get enough for your paper to fit that criteria of being 1 page or more. So, make sure we are starting our rough draft with one of these 3 sentences. Make sure you are putting your adjectives in red. Make sure you are putting your examples of figurative language in green. Make sure that your rough draft has 3 mathematical, or 3 science, not 3 math, 3 science facts and 2 mathematical facts in your paper. This is going to be challenging, guys, but that's what the end of the year in 5th grade is. This is your last assignment as an elementary school student. You should be putting all the effort into it that is needed. You need to finish your elementary career off on a strong note, not on a lazy note. If you finish on a lazy note, you are most likely going to start middle school on a lazy note. So please, finish strong, guys. Finish strong. We've put in a lot of work this year, and many of you have gotten so much better with your writing and with your effort that I would hate to see some of you finish on a not so strong note. Okay? So, rough draft, due on Friday, and it's really not due until Friday at midnight, which means you have all day Thursday and all day Friday to get a very good rough draft done. So let's make sure that's happening, okay? I'm looking forward to reading all of your papers. Some of you didn't put very much effort into your graphic organizer, and you are going to have a hard time writing a very good paper if you did not put very much effort into your graphic organizer. So, again, there's mine, with all the adjectives in red, all the figurative language in green, and I contain my math and science facts. So, I can't wait to read some of your stories. I can't wait to read all of your stories, but I do have a sneaky suspicion that some of us are not going to try to be $1 million student. I hope I'm wrong. I
Make 'em
really
wrong.
hope I'm wrong. I hope everyone's trying to be $1 million student. So, with that being said, this is the end of the video, and I hope that I don't have to redirect anybody to come back and watch this video because they weren't following directions. So make sure that you are following directions and putting your best effort towards this paper. Can't wait to see you guys. Can't wait to read this.
Let me hit you with the precept. Hit it, Mando.
Today's precept is positivity is contagious. What does that mean? Is when you see a smile, what do when you see a smile? You smile back. When you see somebody happy, it makes you happy. When you do something for somebody else, it makes you feel something special. That's today's precept. This is the way.
Today's episode was brought to you by The Blurg. Yeah, you saw that Mandalorian over there and you said, maybe Mr. Beck is going to do The Mandalorian. So if you send me The Mandalorian, you're wrong. And it's not The Mandalorian on The Blurg, it's The Blurg. So make sure you send that to me, and I'm not going to stop the video, and I'm not going to pause it. I'm not going to write everything down for you. Spell it the best you can. Blurg. Blurg. Okay? Just the best you can. I'm not going to get mad. Now, if you write Ayla Sakura, Austin, when it's Ahsoka Tano, I am impressed with your Star Wars knowledge. However, that was the wrong name. As always, hashtag choose kind, hashtag stay awesome, Mr. Beck